Hi everybody, it's Sam back again with my next interview. This is a lady that I met, I think it was 3-4 years ago for the first time when I entered Miss British Empire, which was my first ever pageant. She left a lasting memory on me there. She stood out from everybody, very classy, very classy, very beautiful and very inspiring. So I thought she needs to be doing this empowerment interview with me because she empowered me, to be honest with you. And I think all of us wish that we looked like her. I definitely want to be like that. Definitely. So I would like to introduce the lovely Vivienne Radfar. Now, Vivienne is actually our Lady Star Universe United Kingdom at the moment, and she's competing in October. So, Vivienne, do you mind telling us a little bit about your background? First of all, welcome, and over to you.
Can I just say thank you so much for those lovely words. I really don't deserve them. You are too kind, but I love you to bits.
You are. If there was a Mrs. You know what? If there was a Mrs. Classy pageant, you'd be well in there.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. That's really, really lovely.
Saying that, I've just seen you a little glass of wine in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You should have a cup of tea with your little finger out.
Oh, I had a stressful lunchtime with my mum, so.
You're allowed then, you're allowed.
Yeah, I'm allowed. Today I am allowed, yeah. So yeah, my background, well, I did do some pageants when I was younger, but things like Carnival Queen and things. And I had such fun with my mum. Period of about 2 years, we'd go around doing little pageants. She didn't enter, she was always there being my biggest fan, obviously, as mums always are. And about 5 years ago, I started to feel really deflated and didn't have any sort of mojo, whatever that means. I had been involved in the dance world, belly dance world, for since 1993, so many years, which had always given me much joy. And that had gone as well. Everything just seemed to be a chore.
Do you not do that anymore, Vivienne?
I do, yeah, I still do. Yeah, I sort of got through that phase, but everything just went flat.
Yeah.
And I saw, well, first of all, I went to a wedding in LA, in America, which one of our relatives' weddings, and it was just so amazing. And we were like, you know, the photographers were like paparazzi around us, and it was so glamorous and amazing. And I came back and I thought, oh, I just want to get dressed up. I want to feel alive again.
Yeah. And
I saw an advert for Miss Over 50 and Fabulous, which happened to be in Milton Keynes, so not far for me to go. And I entered it really just because I thought naively, well, this is a way I can make memories with my mum. My mum can come with me. We can have fun again like we used to. You know, in the olden days, she can get dressed up and be in the audience, and I can get dressed up, and we can just have a fun time. And really for me, it was about getting some sort of a joy back, life back for me.
Excitement, a bit of glam,
excitement. It's a bit of escapism.
Yeah.
And but mainly it was to have those memories with my mum as she was getting older. So I went along and I won. So, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
And I was a bit naive. I didn't know what I had to do. And Patsy, who was my director, was amazing. And she sort of got some things for me to do. But really, I had no idea about the pageant world. Everything had changed since, you know, I'd been involved in the 1980s in a very small way. But it started from there. I got a bug, you know, as we all do. That was it. And the pageant bug got me, and I was looking for other things that I could enter. And I made such wonderful friends as well. You know, I met such amazing women. I mean, my beautiful bestest friend Tracy Cook, obviously, you know, we were in that same pageant together, that very first pageant, and we were first and second, the two of us, and we just clicked, and we've been friends ever since, and we love each other, you know, and that great friendship developed. And I have other wonderful women in my life from pageants, Lynn Bennett, Caroline Martin, you know, lots and lots of women that I've met, yourself, obviously.
Wonderful women.
You know, I mean, amazing, inspirational, strong, empowered women. And we all have something to bring to each other that we can enrich each other's lives. And, you know, I just think if it hadn't been for that first step, I wouldn't be speaking to you now. You know, if I hadn't entered that first pageant, we wouldn't have known each other, because, you know, everything flows on. But yeah, so then obviously I sort of entered a few more pageants for classic ladies. Obviously I'm well past 50 now. I'm nearly 60. But I embrace my age, because I think, you know, you have to, and make the most of every moment.
But I think that's what stands out about you.
Yeah.
I think that's what stands about you. You're not willing to sit down and just do nothing. You're still inspiring. You're still going out there and being the best version of you can.
Yeah.
And I think that's what inspires people to make the best of themselves every day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you're influencing people.
So. Yeah, I hope so, because I think I in a way I love being this age, because I think as you get older you lose all that real angst that you used to have. You know, when I think about the confidence issues and the angst I'd have about this and how people think about me there and this and that and the other, and I should have done this and I should have done that, and I'm sort of feel at peace with myself now, because I know what matters in life, I know who matter, and I know that it's really important to be yourself, to live the life you want to live, to always try and be a good person. You know, I always try and be a good person. I'm not perfect by any means.
No one is.
I always want to try and help where I can, and I hope people always think that of me. But you know, I've had a good teacher in my mum. My mum is an amazing woman. God bless her, she's got dementia now. But we had some really fabulous memories from starting the pageants. And they will be with me, you know, because funny memories that we've had. But yeah, I think everyone, and women especially, need to understand their own strength. And the really lots of things that they worry about don't matter.
No,
they don't matter.
I think as soon as you accept yourself, and unfortunately this is something I'm seeing a lot, which is why I'm doing these videos, the thing that took me to being empowered all of a sudden is the shock of the cancer journey. All of a sudden all those things didn't matter. That doesn't matter. All the she said, he said doesn't matter. I'm not interested in all that now. What I'm interested in now is living my life for a good life, be a good person, make change, help people, inspire people. But also because I went through that and I got the strength from that, saw how strong I actually was, I learned about myself, and I've enjoyed doing that. So this is why I got into pageantry, to learn more about myself and see what else can I achieve, what else can I think. So unfortunately, it shouldn't take a shake or a scare like that on your life to make you realize that, which is why I'm trying to do these empowerment videos, because I want people to realize that now without having that big shock thing, if you know what I mean.
No, I think you're right there. I mean, for me, I say the last few years have not been easy, because my mum has had so many health issues, and you know, I was actually off work for 7 weeks in 2017 with depression and anxiety, because so many things had happened in the course of a couple of years, with me being the only child of hers who was near and who cared for her. I'd done everything for her. We'd done everything together. So I was always there for her, as she'd been there for me. And it was really, really hard. And I think, like you with your cancer journey, it was me with everything that I went through with my mum, which affected me, which sort of, all of a sudden, something clicks.
Yeah, definitely.
And you understand, and you know, I know how strong I am.
Yeah.
The things I have had to do, the things that I will continue to have to do. And that is why then when you come to understanding the true things that matter in life, you know, life matters, love matters, people matter.
Gratitude,
our friends and
everything,
family.
isn't it?
It's knowing that and that gives you that sort of inner peace, I think, because everything else then is on the periphery, and you stop to worry about what people think of you. So, you know, I am myself, and I will wear what I want to wear, and I will be who I want to be, and as long as I'm not hurting other people, then, you know, I'm thinking, well, that's fine, and it doesn't matter what they think of me, because at the end of the day, it's what you think of yourself that is most important, and knowing your self-worth.
I agree.
And I think I've come to that point in life at this age that I think I do know my self-worth. I still have self-doubt sometimes, because we all do, but I think really deep down there's sort of an inner peace. Do you know what I mean?
No, I do. I get that. And I think with a lot of pageantry girls, I think they get into it for a reason, that they're trying to develop themselves and address something that might be missing. Like it could be a confidence thing or whatever. But I think, like yourself, I've reached a point where I know who I am. I'm happy with who I am. I've got nothing to prove to myself anymore. Thankfully, to pageantry, it got me to a point where I initially had body issues. I'm over them now. And now I am only doing pageantry because I want to inspire, or I want to put a message out there, or I want to raise awareness. It's got nothing to do with me anymore. And I think you're quite the same, aren't you? Because I think you first get into it for a reason, but I think we're both just into it for enjoyment now as well. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing it, because I have always been one of those little girls that loves glamour, you know, from a young age. I can remember watching the old Hollywood films and loving, you know, watching the likes of Rita Hayworth and Marilyn Monroe, and that was sort of what I aspired to. Now, some people wouldn't, and that's fine, you know, we're not all the same, but for me, I loved it. So I love getting dressed up, I love putting makeup on, I love doing my hair. It just helps me be me. And so doing pageants gives me that side of it. But at the end of the day, it's not the be all and end all. If you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. And, you know, you just have to, I think, realise that for me, I always think everything happens for a reason anyway. So then I look for the next opportunity. So I might be upset. We're all human. But then I shake it off and I think, okay, right, fine. What do I go on to next? And also I like to help. You know, I'm always sort of helping where I can.
I was awful after Royal for like 2 days. I think they call it the pageant hangover, don't they? 2 days I'll lick at my wounds and everything like that. But then after that, I thought, I need to do another pageant. I'm just get back on stage. I think it was.
I know, that's it. It's a drug.
It's the process of pageantry that I love. It's the getting on stage. It's the actual. It was like I can't explain it. It's not for me personally. It is not the winning that I'm enjoying the most. Because obviously I'm not winning, and I keep going back. What I think. My ultimate aim is to raise awareness on my platform. That is my ultimate aim. It's not the crown. It's not anything like that. But actually, the process of doing a pageant is addictive. I absolutely love it.
Love. And I think I'm the same. I love the process. And I think part of it is because it's all about you. And it doesn't
I call
matter
it my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't matter that it's all about you for a short space of time to other people all the time, especially as you get older and your wife, mother, daughter, looking after elderly parents or whatever. We are always, as women, giving of ourselves. So to have that guilty pleasure, that time which is just for you, I think is great, because it enables us to sort of be someone else for a
It's an
little
alter
while.
ego, isn't it? It's like an alter ego. It's like playing again, like you used to when you were little, in the front of the mirror and you were a pop singer.
And it's just you know, it takes you away from the real world, and it helps you recharge batteries, and then you go off and you go back to your real life, and then you're preparing for the next one.
And
it gives
depressed
you a goal.
because you're back to your real life.
And it gives you a goal and a focus. That's what I like. I mean, with this one, I'm learning Portuguese, so
love it.
Well, I was lucky that my job have given me a language platform called Busu. So, and basically what it is, like different languages, about 10, I think, and I can learn whichever one I want. But basically, the company I work for, they paid for like various different people who were interested in learning languages. They paid for the license for them all to have this application. And it's really good. So yeah, and I'm trying to refresh my French, because I did French to business level at school. I love languages, and it's the great regret of my life that I don't speak any other language fluently other than English.
This is it. But, and of course, you travel all around the world doing pageantry and stuff like that, don't you? So it's good to be able to speak those languages. What else would you say pageantry does to empower people? What if I was somebody who'd never done a pageant, and how would you sell it to me? How is it going to help me in my life, so to speak?
I think the actual what's the word I'm looking for? Senior moment. The actual logistical aspects of a pageant. So
organising yourself and things.
Yeah, things like the interview, the stagecraft, the confidence, preparation. So if you go for a job, for instance, some people may not understand, you know, that appearance actually is very important these days. You know, people will judge you whether you like it or not as soon as you walk in the room. So you have to be dressed in an appropriate way, and the confidence to speak in front of people, so to be able to hold your own, you know, when somebody's asking you difficult questions. All these sort of things, I think, from the pageant world directly, you know, work in everyday life. So I think, you know, for me, I think those aspects of pageantry do transfer over, empowering those people, giving them the confidence that they need, giving them the what's the word again? This happens, you know.
Oh, I know, believe me, I know.
Senior moment. Senior moment. What I'm looking for is the confidence, but the presence.
So like the assertiveness.
Yes, the assertiveness, the presence as you walk into a room. You know, the fact that you're not intimidated. All these things that pageants, even for young, you know, little tiny tots, they're learning this right from the very beginning. So for me, I think those aspects of pageantry are empowering, because they give you actual life skills. And then the other side of it is, I think, altruistically. So you're working for the community, you're given a community spirit, you're looking after other people. I think the sisterhood aspect of it, you know, you're making friends, you're looking out for one another. You know, you make great friendships and they carry on. So there's so many ways that I think pageantry can inspire and empower women with every aspect of it. I mean, it's not perfect, as in every walk of life, but if you take the positives from it, you can really get a lot from, you know, being in pageants. That's and if you go into it with the right frame of mind, you know, positive frame of mind, and you look for the best, you'll take out the best.
Exactly. I mean, everything's got its negatives, hasn't it? But I think with pageantry, there's definitely more positives than negatives. I think it's just the outside world who don't know pageantry or haven't seen it in the last 30 years.
That's it.
Make judgments on things that they don't know about, don't they?
Yeah. And actually, just the thought that, you know, I say I did a couple of small ones, Carnival Queen, etc., in the 80s, but I used to watch them avidly. I used to love Miss World, etc. But the local ones, generally, you didn't get involved in the community. So you might enter a pageant, win it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So actually, if you compare them in the 80s, 70s, 60s, whatever, to today, the girls who are entering them today are getting a lot more involved in the community, doing a lot more than used to be done, because you used to go around and you'd enter. I mean, I remember seeing a program about a girl, and she entered like hundreds of pageants everywhere. They used to just call them beauty contests then. She entered them, and I remember this program about her, and she'd got a chest, big chest, as in a chest that you put things in.
A big chest, yes.
And I remember, I think I was about 14 watching this program, and I remember her opening this big chest, and it was literally full of all of the sashes that she'd won. I don't know how many she'd won. Of course, you couldn't do that now, because, you know, you've got a responsibility. So you're not just, you know, I think if you win a title today, you're trying to spread a message. You're trying to be a role model. Yeah, it's a job. You're doing so much more than just you get the crown and then you move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So I think there was the heyday in obviously 60s, 70s, 80s, but I think maybe actually now the girls who get involved are actually doing more good. Yeah. You know, there's a lot more than just walking on stage.
Well, there's like that, depending on when they sign up for a pageant, you've got that run up to it, the work they do in order to get the crown. And then if you get the crown, it's a year's worth of work they need to do then, isn't it? It's not like they can go from pageant to pageant to pageant, because there's responsibility that comes along with the title.
Yeah. There's so much hard work involved. I mean, I think anybody who enters a pageant thinking it's just going to be, you know, a little walk in the park, walk on stage, and that's it. You know, I think their eyes would very soon be open.
A bit of a shock, be a bit of a shock for them. So you're quite empowered in that you've been at nearly every pageant I go to. You're there, you're involved, and you do a lot in the community. You've done a lot, obviously, with your mum, and you work as well. What is it that empowers you every day to keep going and doing all this stuff?
I think it just comes from within, that I always want to be doing something that makes me a better person. So whether that be learning a language, or I don't know, just trying to do exercise, or, I mean, for instance, when I was 39, I started doing my law degree.
Wow.
So that was a self-improvement thing. At 46, I did my postgraduate legal. No reason. I mean, I was thinking I might be a solicitor eventually, but, you know, that didn't work out. But it's sort of like, it's I think just challenging myself constantly to see what else I can do. And always my mind is sort of going around. But I mean, empowering me, I mean, I've got an amazing husband who, you know, is there behind the scenes, always being my rock and helping me do, my mad things that I do. And like for my mum, he's always been there while I go off and I look after my mum, never moaning. So he helps to empower me with his support. Yeah, I think it just comes as something inside that I just want to always be a better person.
Where do you think that came from?
I think probably from my mum.
Yeah.
I think from my mum. She's always been that sort of positive person. She's always been getting involved in things. Yeah. She always used to enter us in the carnival, not the carnival queen. That's really funny outfits we were in when we were children. But she was always so full of joy and wonder and made everything such an adventure. And, I've got that lovely memory of that childhood sort of.
Yeah.
And I think that's just still there.
I think mums have a lot to do with it, don't they? Because my mum was very similar. She was like, you don't know what you can do till you try. Have a go. You've got nothing to lose. Come on, Sam, have a go. And I think that's what all I ever hear now. Whenever I come up against something, I think, oh, could I do that? I'm getting in my head. Have a go. You don't know what you can do. So I try these things. And as you say, it's a learning curve for you to see what you are capable of. Yeah. And it's really interesting finding out about yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think it makes you realise that, you're stronger than you think. You may be cleverer than you think. And you're more, what's the word? I keep forgetting my words. But you've got more tenacity than you think,
Resilience.
To keep going. Yeah, resilience is the word. To keep going. And I just think you never know until you try. You never know until you try. And I always think, why not try?
Is that your quote that keeps you through life, or do you have a quote that gets you through life?
Oh, I think my quote. I mean, I love quotes.
I
so
do.
I'm always looking.
I'm terrible for them.
Yeah, I've got so many. So to choose one is really difficult. But the one that always sticks in my head, because I think from this surely must flow everything else, is do as you would be done by.
Yeah. Somebody else has said the same.
Yeah.
Someone else said the same.
I think it just came straight into my head when I was looking at the list of questions, and that just popped straight into my head. And I have so many quotes that I love, but I just think if you follow that, if everyone was the same, treat others as you would want to be treated yourself, the world would be so much better place.
It would.
Because we'd all be much kinder to each other.
Exactly.
And hopefully kinder to animals as well.
Yeah. You're a big animal lover.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter's dog. She's just so. I love animals. I hate cruelty. I hate cruelty to anything. But my daughter's dog is like my granddaughter dog.
Your baby.
Yeah, she's so cute. But yeah.
What type of dog is she?
I think it just needs much more kindness in the world. Really, we all need to be kind to each other.
I agree. I think when people stop thinking too much about themselves and material things, and for me, I think people are trying to empower themselves by what they've got.
Yes.
Rather than what they do or how they're seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Character.
I am a shopaholic. It is the bane of my husband's life, probably. Sorry, I'm just putting my shoe back on. But I don't think you can get yourself. Yeah, you can't. Well, you can never have enough. You can't get your self-worth from things, though. You can't get your self-worth from things. No. The self-worth comes from inside you. So it's like you look at some people and they're so rich, but really you think to yourself, they've got nothing.
But you know what? I always think when I see somebody with a big posh car and, you know, looking rich,
yeah,
I think there's something missing where they have to show everybody how rich they are. I
yeah,
had a man who was my landlord when I used to have an office for Sam's Diamonds in St Helens, and he owns hundreds of properties, but he dressed like a scruff.
yeah,
Wouldn't know.
yeah,
And I said,
yeah,
why is it you're not in suited and booted in like big fancy car? He said,
yeah,
because if I did that, I'm making myself a target.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, oh God,
You're right.
yeah. You just don't realise, do you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've got a nice car, but I haven't got like a mega fancy car. I switched my Fiat 500 convertible last year because I could no longer get my mum in the car.
Yeah.
And at the age of 58 last year, I decided I was going to have a sports car.
Good on you. You've worked hard enough for it though, haven't you?
I waited, I mean, I passed my test when I was 19. So I waited nearly 40 years for my sports car. So I think I'm justified in driving.
You've done well there, and I think you deserve it. You've got to add to the classy look, haven't you, darling?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, do you know what? I just like putting the roof down.
Yeah.
I just love putting the roof down, and I used to love it in my, you know, little Fiat 500, and I only got this one. It was actually the last one in the country, believe it or not. It's the Fiat Spider, and because they're not making them anymore, and I just sort of said, "Oh, have you got any?"
Well, do you know, if you ever decide to do a Thelma and Louise jobbing and you want to go off with the roof down, just give me a shout.
I will do. I will do.
We'll be off hair blowing. Well, yours will be. Mine's too short to blow.
Oh. You know what? The only thing is, though, if you're tall, it's terrible because it's so tiny. You know, to get in. I remember when I gave Patsy a lift last year when we went to Lynn's birthday party. And of course, she's about 5'8", 5'9", and I had to put the roof down.
That's a concertina herself in.
Yeah, honestly. I'm okay because I'm only small, you see. I'm only like 5'3" or something like that.
Oh,
so, yeah.
So if you had somebody around you that wasn't feeling empowered and wasn't feeling it today, what would you say to them?
Today, I would say, just take a deep breath, look around you, think about all the positive things in your life. Think about people who are worse off, because that always helps me. If I'm feeling sorry for myself and I see somebody, I think, you wicked woman, I tell myself, you wicked woman, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Just get up and get on with it. Yeah. I know some people can't cope with that type of life, but I would say if somebody's not feeling empowered, for me, taking action always helps me. Yeah. If I'm depressed, or I'm, you know, and I do still, because you know, I'm looking after my mum. She's got dementia. She's deteriorating. I have to see on a daily basis. I'm grieving. You're
going to have your down days. You are going to have down days.
I mean, that's it. It's a grieving because she's being lost to me. You know, some days she doesn't know who I am. Some days, so you know, and I think what stops you from being empowered is a feeling of being out of control. Yeah, that to me is what always happens. It's like you have no control over anything and things are happening to you. So that what helps me is sort of identifying what can I do that will give me some control back, and then it flows on from there. So once I take that first step and then I carry on, and slowly you start to be empowered again because you've taken the first step of getting that control back in your life.
Isn't it?
And that's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing, because being in control means you are empowered. Yeah. Things are not being done to you. You have the control over your life. And that to me is what empowered means. that you have the choice, you can make decisions for yourself, and you can act for yourself.
I completely understand that.
Yes.
I understand that, because I, when I was on the cancer journey, I would have like 3-4 days being really ill where I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And a family member would come round and start doing my dishes that were in the sink, and I didn't like it, because that was the one thing I could do, was my dishes. Do you know what I mean? So she was trying to help, but I was kind of like, no, let me do it, because she was taking that control away. I wasn't in control of anything in my life. In fact, my life was in other people's hands. And I just needed to do my dishes because it was my mess. Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
There you go,
And it was that one thing that
control.
you could do. Yeah, it is. I think it's so important, because, I mean, getting to the age I've gotten to, and obviously I've been through a lot in my life, and I've experienced a lot of feelings and this and that and the other. And I think as you get older, you do get a bit more wise. Do you not think so? You sort of, you've gone through all this stuff and you become more wise. So you can sort of think to yourself, this is what is going to help. This is what will help, because it's looking around and being thankful for your blessings, whatever they may be. There's always somebody worse off. Now, I'm very lucky. I know I'm very lucky. I haven't always lived in a lovely house. I came from working class family, so I've gone through. So I'm not talking from just a position of privilege, having always been in a privileged position. I have gone through various stages in my life, and I think whatever happens, there's always someone worse off than you. Count your blessings. I know it's a bit twee, but it is true. It is true.
I do exactly the same. Like when you've got people who, oh, it's raining again, it won't stop raining, and I'm like, there's people who would love it to rain. People in hospital who would love to be outside and be able to get wet, and it's just like, it pulls you out of that kind of I won't say self-pity or victim, but it just makes you think, no, actually, this is good. This is a good thing. I've got 3 healthy children. We have a house. We have food. What more do you need? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything else.
I mean, there's always one. This is how sad I am. If it's raining, I'm like, oh, actually now I can stay indoors and get some work done that I need to do. Because we've had such good weather. I'm like, I'm not going to do that ironing. I'm not going to sort out.
I've got an excuse to get out.
I need to get out in the garden. I want to be in the sun. And then it's like, oh, it's raining. Oh, okay, fine. I can do that I've been putting off now. I can stand and do the ironing. I can stand and do this.
So what you're saying is you walk around in creased clothes all summer.
My husband probably will.
I like it. Oh, do you know what, Vivienne? It's been lovely chatting to you. I really appreciate it.
Yes, so lovely. Thank you so much.
You enjoyed it?
Absolutely. And I hope that obviously I have been able to empower and inspire some people.
I think sharing your outlook on life and how you see things, and also your pageantry and how you can keep going even though you've got so much going on with your mum and stuff. That's empowering.
Do you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. That's another quote.
I like that one. My one is, you were given this life because you're strong enough to live it. So
Absolutely.
live it. So live it. Yeah. It's like, I always wonder, like, I got a second chance at life and I'd feel guilty if I didn't make the most of it. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't get a second chance. So I've kind of got to go for it now. Lovely to see you, and thank you so much.
Lovely to see you.
And good luck in Lady Star Universe.
Thank you. And hopefully I'll see you before then anyway. Hopefully we'll be all out of lockdown. We'll have one big massive pageant party.
I know. Okay, give everybody a wave. Goodbye.
Right. Bye.
Bye everybody.